Hello everyone. Alrighty, I'm going to do like I said I was going to do on the last video and use my new step out that I've called Virvle, which is Norwegian for swirl. And it was inspired by this tile pattern that I found on the Carnival Miracle somewhere on the wall. I'm not too sure where. And I've created a step out and we're going to use that to draw this pattern. So if you want to look at the step out real quick, it's a circle with a circle in the middle with a double lined and or red circle on the outside. From that, I'm going to make these S-like shapes like that. I'm going to take this and make these shapes here, these curves. Can you see that? Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, we're going to draw this one around like that. Step 5, if I want to, I can embellish on the outside with these flowers, which is what the tile had. I may or may not do that. I do like this kind of swirly bit inside there. Don't know yet what I'm going to do, but that's my inspiration. There's my paper. My light's on already. Zoom in just a smidge. Find my center of my paper. Where it happened to my, there it is. I'm just going to find the center of my paper. I'm not going to do the outside box. We originally figured it out with an outside box, but it doesn't really make any difference. So I'm just going to find myself the center of this page, like so. Since my paper isn't square, it's rectangle, this X is not, the angles are slightly different there. That's okay, it doesn't really make any difference. So I'm going to go ahead and do a circle in the middle. Oop. Stand still, you little booger. I'll turn my paper instead. That works. And then I'm going to do one out here. Make sure I'm not too far out. Come inward a little bit. Like that. And in a little bit more. Like so. Something like that. And then I'm going to use my pencil and create my my swirls. So I want a swirl that starts about here. Right? It started about here and it went up and around. Like that. And then this one starts here and comes up this way. And this one starts here and goes this way. I'm just doing it gently in pencil first. And I can adjust with my pen when I come back. Okay. Okay. I think I'm going to draw this one with my brush pen. That's what I feel like with today. It's a bit of an experience to do the brush pen. But that's okay. I'm kind of wiggly today. It's also okay. There we go. Something like that with my arms. And then these arms come from here and go this way. And then this arm comes off here, comes this way. That, and then this one comes up and around. Now here I can make that arm whatever I want it to be, and I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to come up and around like this, and I'm going to go jiggly wiggly. Up and around and jiggly wiggly. Up and around and jiggly wiggly. And then that's the basic pattern, and then we can embellish. There's all sorts of embellishments that were on this tile, and I think I'm going to do some of those, but I like this. I like in the middle of this tile how they have this sort of crisscrossy pattern that's kind of wavy. Like that. I like that. I need a little one up here. Fill in that space a little more. Okay, so now I can use a different pen and do embellishments. I'm going to erase all my marks as I don't need them anymore. And you know, I was working on answering these questions, and I have a few more left. Because this one person asked a lot of questions, and I've already answered some of them, but I'm going to go ahead and just kind of quickly run through what they've asked. And when and how did you first discover and get into drawing tangles? I'd never heard about or seen them until I found your channel, and now I am hooked. Not only is it extremely relaxing to draw tangles, but I found that it's very relaxing to draw them myself. Also, do you have any other type of art? Well, I know I've already answered the when did I start drawing tangles. I've answered that quite a bit. It's been about 5 years, maybe 6. And I discovered it as I was looking for something called Praying in Color that I believe it's Sybil Macbeth that I was looking for a women's retreat. So that is where I started, and I've just continued on. I love doing patterns. This is just something that really resonates with me. Do you do any other type of art? Yes, I do. I like to do regular drawing, you know. I have tried doing, what's her name? Oh, the name has escaped me. Ayala. I Ayala Art's 29 Faces challenge. I have, done Inktober challenges. I've done I do painting. I like to follow the Art Sherpa on YouTube and paint along with her, amongst other things, but for sure that. I've done fiber crafts. I've done all sorts of things. I've been crafting or drawing or painting or doing some sort of art my entire life. It's in my DNA. Do you have any recommendations for a 41-year-old beginner? I.e., if on a budget, which art supplies are must-haves for you? What are your favorite art supplies, favorite medium? Although from what I've seen, I guess color pencils and watercolors. Favorite brands? Do you prefer a certain type of brand of paper, etc.? So, if you've watched my channel for any length of time, you'll know that I do have some favorites, but that I don't think you have to have fancy supplies to do your art. Now, one of her things was, if I was to splurge and buy any art supplies, no matter the cost, what do you recommend? I do like these Copic multi-liner pens, mostly because they do come in all the various sizes, all the way from a 0.003 or something, really teeny tiny, which I have yet to be comfortable with, all the way up to like a 1.0. So there is a large variety in tip sizes. But what I like most about them is that they can be refilled. And so unless you damage the tip, and I believe you can replace the tips as well, you don't have to just keep buying more pens over and over again. You can just buy refill ink. And I think that's much more environmentally friendly. But they are pricey. And some people can't afford that. And if you can't afford that, I am not, not going to be an art snob. I just recently, 3 videos ago, did an artwork spending $0. Just using what I already have on hand. So you don't have to spend a lot of money to draw. What I suggest is you go to the art store, especially for paper, and feel the paper. Like, I just use, because I like to use the colors. The colors make me happy. So I just use scrap packs from, you can get them at Joann's, I think, Michael's, Hobby Lobby. This is where I get mine, but I know that they've had them other places. It's the scrap leftovers from when they cut down scrapbooking pages. And it's the leftover bits. And so it's just scrapbooking paper, cut to size, whatever size you like. But I would feel the paper. There are some papers that feel just awful, that feel super thin, like copy paper, like printer paper. I can draw on that. It doesn't bother me, but it's not my favorite. But just feel the paper, and it makes a difference as if you're going to color or not. If you are going to be using watercolors, I would recommend a watercolor paper, which is what this one is. It's just a piece I cut from a pad of cheap watercolor paper from the craft store. I actually got the kids watercolor paper because, you know what, it was cheaper and it was just as good. But yeah, if you're going to watercolor or use markers or something, proper marker paper or watercolor paper does make a difference. But if you're just going to use color pencils, it really doesn't make that much difference. There are differences. If you asked a artist who does color pencils for a living, they have preferential papers that they prefer. Just kind of filling in these spots, like kind of like this, but not with those little flowers. Not really feeling those little flowers. But yeah, if you had money to spare, what I suggest is you go in to your art supply store and just feel the papers, because there are some really wonderful, luxurious papers that I think would be really fun to draw on, but I just don't have the money for, unlimited supplies. Do I like my nice supplies? Yes. Do you have to have them? No. Let's see, what else? What's your favorite color? I really don't have a favorite color. And that might sound weird. People have asked me that. You get asked that a lot, but I really don't have a favorite color. I have colors that I gravitate to for different things. For example, I'm going to sign this. I'm probably going to color it a little bit. For example, I seem to tend to wear blues and greens, except for at work where I have to wear a uniform, so I don't have a choice of color. But, in my wardrobe, if you looked into my closet, I would have mostly blues and greens. My house is decorated in green, but I'm not the only one who has that option. My art studio here, the flooring is blue, but that's just because there was limited color choices in the type of flooring I chose. I chose a rubber matte kind of tile flooring that's squishy and has a good sound absorption for sound here. Let me see. Making a mess. Looking for colored pencils. In my art, you can see that I like my yellows and my blues and my greens, pinks. I like them all. There are some colors I don't like on things. Like I specifically, see, I'm making a lovely yellow thing. I love yellow. Yellow's a good color. I love yellow. But specifically, I do not like yellow on houses. I just don't. I don't know why, but I don't like a yellow house. So, just not my thing. But I really don't have a favorite color. My phone case currently is that. The colors were not my most favorite, but I really liked the mandala on the phone case, so that's what I got. My other phone case I had purchased was sort of pinks. There's just, you just can't pin me down with color. I like color in general. I just love color. I love looking at color palettes. I love watching on TV decorating shows where, the designers are choosing new colors and color palettes. I love to browse at the paint counter and look at all the swatches of colors. They just make me so happy. So it doesn't really, the color itself is not, I don't have a favorite. I just don't. They're just for certain applications, for certain styles, for certain, why something is wiggling, making a noise. That's annoying. Just like I said, for certain applications, I like colors, some colors better than others. You know, the color I would pick for my sofa is a completely different thing than the color I would pick in an outfit to wear to dinner, or bedding for my bed, or pillows, throw pillows for the sofa. They're just different. They just are. I love to go to the fabric store and pick up fun fabrics. I've made myself several face masks over the last year, and I have them in green and blue and pink and yellow. So it's not like I don't like yellow, it's just for houses, I don't like it on houses. So yeah, I can't give you a favorite color. Was there anything else on that one? Do you have any other hobbies, or do you collect anything? I used to collect a lot more than I do now. I think, well, first off, my house is just chock full. I don't need more stuff. My things that I love, I do love them, but I think the older I get, the more I realize that the things don't make me happy. Having more stuff is no longer making me happy. And so I've kind of stopped collecting stuff. We do have things. My husband and I both enjoy when we go on our vacations to get little goodies from wherever we've traveled. So, we do have our little collections of stuff. Our latest trip, we're gathering up some of those, I don't know if you've seen them, the metal sculpture things that hang on walls. They turtles and butterflies and a variety of things, palm trees, whatever, made out of metal, that they sell all over Mexico. I'm 100% sure they come from China, but they sell them all over Mexico. They claim they're handmade in Mexico. I doubt it, because the last ones we bought were wrapped in newspaper from China. So there's that. But we're enjoying getting those and putting them in the backyard near the spa. I have a small collection of Wedgwood, the blue and white Wedgwood. That kind of thing. Nothing overly fancy. I feel like I want a darker color in the middle here. And I think I want kind of an orangey color out here. I wish I knew what was jiggling. That's a new jiggle. It didn't used to jiggle like that, so I'm going to have to figure out why my table is making a noise. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's driving me nuts. I did move my table. It's a standing desk, so I moved it down. And then I moved it back up, and I have this feeling I just don't have it quite in the right spot. But I am going to have to investigate this creaky noise. I want it to go away. Okay. And then I think I want some greens out here. Time is it? Oh, we have plenty of time. Okay, I'm just making sure I'm not running out of time, because when I get close to an hour, she shuts off. And sometimes I'm just having good old time and I'm not paying any attention to how long I've been recording. 27 minutes. We're good. We're almost done. I think I want... We're going to go with this lime green in the middle here. Can I ask you guys a question? If I were to sell my art, what would you buy it for? What's a price range? I won't be offended if you say, you know, you wouldn't buy it. I won't be offended if you say $1 or $2. But, you know, a small piece of work like this, you know, 4 inches, 5 inches, hand drawn, takes about half hour per drawing or so, 45 minutes, whatever. How much would you spend on it? Just curious. I may not ever do that, but we had a an art fair at church, arts and crafts, and it was amazing how much total the different vendors, the different artists that came with their stuff made. Some did better than others, of course, but I was approached by one of the ladies at church and said, you should sell your art. Now, first off, I had to work, so I couldn't go anyways. But even if I could go, I would have not a clue as to how to price my art. So I'm asking my community, the people who like my work already, if you guys could give me a little clue as to about how much you think I should sell my work for, if I ever decided to sell, which I still may not. You never know. I may never decide to sell. I may just continue to give them away and never sell any. But if I do, what kind of price range would you guys? I guess I could go on Etsy and see what hand-drawn works of art are going for. I'm thinking somewhere between $5 and $10 was my thought process, but I don't even know. And maybe more for colored and less for not colored, because it does take me a lot longer to do colored. But anyway. All right, well, that will do it. That is my interpretation of my pattern that I got from this tile. I like it. I like what happened. And on the next video, we're going to try deconstructing another one. because this was fun and gave me something to do. And yeah, let's do that. Let's do the next couple of tiles and we're going to try deconstructing. But before I do that, I'm going to try to figure out what is going on with my table so it stops making noise, because it didn't used to. All right, you guys have a great day. I will see you on the next video. Go do something nice for someone today and I'll be back. Bye-bye.